He's working on it. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Microphone check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You got it or no? Yeah, go tone. Go.
There's been a lot of pain in this city over the last 5 years, and there's been a lot of fear. The pain was because we watched an innocent man die. And the fear was because people worried that there would be no justice, that the inequities that have plagued us for generations would simply continue unchecked. But today, for the first time in these long 5 years, the system of justice is working. For the Garner family, and I've spent time with them and I've heard the pain that they have felt. It's been a very long 5 years with no sense of closure, no sense of justice. Until today, the Garner family has been failed by this entire process. And think about what they have gone through. They watched him die just as we all did. They felt that pain. And then they were told over and over again by the district attorney, by the Department of Justice, that the government would do its job. And they waited, and they waited, and they waited, and nothing happened. And as all this stretched on, it reinforced the suspicion, as one felt by millions, that justice doesn't exist for people who look like Eric Garner. Today, we finally saw a step towards justice and accountability. We saw a process that was actually fair and impartial. And I hope that this will now bring the Garner family a sense of closure and the beginning of some peace. But full justice means that there can never be another tragedy like the one that befell Eric Garner. Full justice is when we never have another death. That is all of our responsibility, and it requires us to change everything. For the last 5 years, our mission has been to fundamentally change the nature of policing in New York City. After the death of Eric Garner, everything was reevaluated. The entire police force was retrained, 36,000 officers retrained to de-escalate conflict, to understand the implicit bias that we all carry with us, to ensure it would not interfere with their duty. The approach to the community is entirely different today. And we had to weed out the distance and the separation that was the norm of the past. And through neighborhood policing, actually create a dynamic where our officers and community members got to know each other as human beings, where people felt they were on the same side working toward a common goal. And we had to change the approach on the ground. Last year, there were 150,000 fewer arrests than 5 years earlier because there were too many times when people were being arrested unnecessarily and too many conflicts that came from it. And this NYPD proved that fewer and fewer people could be arrested and the city could become safer. Safety and fairness must walk hand in hand. And I hoped that today begins the process of restoring some faith and helping people believe that there actually is accountability and fairness. We have a lot more work to do. We'll be at this a long time, but we all have a sense of common mission. There can never be another tragedy like this. This city, this nation should never be put through this agony. We should never lose another innocent man or woman. We should never have people's faith undermined. It's in our power to do something better and to do something different. That is the course we set 5 years ago, and that's the course we will stay on. Few words in Spanish. Hoy, finalmente, vimos un paso hacia la aplicación de justicia. Espero que esta decisión le dé a la familia Garner una sensación de cierre. Trabajaremos para asegurarnos que algo como esto nunca vuelva a suceder. I'm going to take a few questions now, but I want to say up front, and I want to remind everyone, this is an ongoing legal matter. So there's very little I can add to my statement, but I do want to take a few questions. Yes?
Mayor, who specifically in the Justice Department told New York City to hold off? Can you name the name?
We'll get you the history, multiple conversations.
Personally read Judge Maldonado's recommendation, and do you agree that he should be fired?
Again, what I'm talking about today is a fair and impartial process has occurred. That's all I have to say.
Have you read
No, I have not.
Mayor, Al Sharpton said today that after the decision is made, he also wants to go a step further and call for new laws in Congress and congressional hearings. Do you support that, and what kind of law change are you looking?
Look, I haven't heard what he said today. I know members of Congress want to look at this issue. I certainly think it's fair to say, here was a tragedy, it cannot happen again. And what I would ask the members of Congress to look at is the role of the Justice Department going forward. Remember, and I said it earlier on the radio, we had 3 horrifying cases that we all remember too well. The Louima case, the Bell case, and the Diallo case. In every one of them, there was prosecution either by the Justice Department or the district attorney. What's happened these last 5 years is unfathomable. There was no decision even from the Justice Department. That's a central question to me, Marcia. That can't happen again in the future. There has to be a decision on a meaningful timeline.
What do you want Congress to do when they look at the Justice Department?
They have to, I think they have to beg this very important question. Justice Department has to ensure speedy justice. It's right there in the Constitution. There can't be a process that goes on 5 years ever again.
The Garner family, and what has been their response?
I'm not going to go into private conversations today. As I said, it's a legal matter.
Mayor, you said that today there's finally been a step towards justice and accountability. Does that mean that you believe that the ruling that was made today was just?
Again, I believe the process was fair and impartial. And it's the first time we've seen a decision. I want to remind everyone, over 5 years, district attorney did not bring an indictment, therefore there was no trial. Justice Department did not bring an indictment, therefore there was no trial. For the first time, there was a trial, a fair and impartial trial, and a result. Remember that point about justice delayed is justice denied, that at least there was a trial and a result, and I have faith that it was a fair and impartial process.
You said on the radio this morning that, policies have been put in place to never wait on the Justice Department again. Do you regret waiting on the Justice Department and not going ahead with the departmental trial in 2015?
Absolutely. I cannot understand how this happened. Everything I had seen my entire life suggested the Justice Department believed it was its responsibility to act when other levels of government had not, or at least to make a decision quickly for the benefit of justice. It's literally beyond any compare. I cannot find any parallel to what happened here, and it's an unacceptable reality. I did not think it possible, honestly. I didn't think it was possible under either administration federally. But now that we've experienced it, we will never allow that to happen again. Gloria.
We understand that police commissioner is going to make the final call here, but have you spoken to him about the judge's recommendation? And why aren't you saying what your personal opinion is, now that we have this recommendation from the judge, what you personally believe should happen to this officer now?
I have not spoken to him, and that is because I respect this process. And I want everyone to understand this. If you believe that there's a fair and impartial process, and I do, then letting it reach its conclusion beyond reproach, beyond question, is necessary. And I am talking as the steward of this city. We need closure in this city. The Garner family deserves it first and foremost, but we as a city need to end this chapter and move forward. I believe my role is to respect this process and respect the state law, and that's the best way to get to that closure. Jeff?
Did you even investigate whether you had the power to fire Officer Pantaleo?
Absolutely, and the state law is abundantly clear. There has to be due process, and I emphasize to everyone that is an American value. Everyone in this room should value due process. The problem here is that we listened to the United States Justice Department under 2 different administrations, and we respected their demand that we hold back. But once it was clear they were not acting, and we moved forward, we are governed by state law, and that's what the process has been. Due process, a trial, a decision by a judge, a final decision by the police commissioner. Yes.
Mr. Carr recently died, and so did Erica Garner about a year and a half ago. And some people have said that Erica Garner died from the stress related to fighting for justice for her father. Can you speak a little bit about the family members of his who are no longer here to even see a conclusion to this?
It's very painful that this family's been put through hell. And part of why I'm reminding all New Yorkers of these previous horrible situations is to make clear how wrong this was. It's bad enough that an innocent man died. We all saw it, we all felt it. But when we think about the other instances that this whole city felt, we all remember the Diallo case, we all remember the Louima case, the Bell case. Justice proceeded. You could agree or disagree with any element of what happened, but there was a trial. The notion that 5 years passed without a trial, and that the place that had been the ultimate dispenser of justice failed to act in any way, shape, or form is unfathomable. And to your point, that family members died in the meantime and never got to see any closure is extremely painful, and we cannot let that happen again to another family.
So to what extent do you believe this is also a result of the immense public pressure that your administration and other parts of government were placed under? Would we be here without all the activism and people that spoke out over the last 5 years?
I respect everyone who has spoken out in their pain, in their outrage, and that's what I was saying in the beginning. I think so many people feared that we had not moved forward as a city or as a society, that injustice was simply going to happen with no result. And I appreciate why people felt that, and it cannot be. We can't move forward as a city, we can't move forward as a nation if people wonder if there's going to be any justice at all. So what was abundantly clear to me was once a fair and impartial process occurred, it would change everything that people were feeling to see an actual process. And that changes the entire discussion. That there's finally been a trial, that there's actually been a decision, and it is a fair and impartial process. Again, this is only a beginning of restoring people's faith. But this is the kind of thing that needed to happen a long time ago, an actual justice process, and now it has happened. Thank you, everyone.
access because we don't want to put people at risk.
Can I ask any other questions of Peter Payne one-to-one? Is that okay?
Can I just ask one more thing, please? The Derbyshire County Council have will be putting a helpline in, and this is for all local people, local residents, and that will go live from 9 a.m. tomorrow till 10 p.m. And if I could give that number out, please, 01629 533 190, and that's for all the local residents. Yeah, 01629 533 190.
And that number will be manned by a team from around 9 a.m. tomorrow morning.
So can you just say this, total say from the council saying that
something that that's an issue for the prosecutor, of course, and yes, we don't have any comments about that. Så,
Vad säger du om beslutet?
Alltså, som jag har, min uppfattning och min klients uppfattning är att det är inte det som är den stora frågan. Va? Han är inte på något sätt ute efter A$AP Rocky. Han önskar honom och de andra tilltalade all lycka och välgång i livet. Va? Däremot så vill han ju...
Nu ska han ha det bra. Komma sin mamma och pappa, hoppas jag. Och sen får vi se. Vi vet faktiskt inte framtiden vad som händer nu. Vi får se lite grann och inväkta vilket dum det blir om 2 veckor.
Vad betyder det här för din klient?
Jo, han har ju känt att det är ett rätt steg i jakten på rättvisa. Vi hoppas nu även att han kommer bli helt frikänd. Vi får se om 2 veckor vad dum bevis att det kommer fram till. Men vi är väldigt nöjda med att min klient är satt på fri fot.
Skadestånd. Det är min uppfattning. Så, tack för idag. Ha det bra.
What do you think about the decision?
I think not coming out this
Aisha, are they coming? Aisha, are they coming out this way?
I have no idea. They're coming that way.
Yeah?
They're coming that way, but I don't know if they're coming. I mean, A$AP came back.
Ni måste respektera, de vill komma ut.
To that way or what?
Kom igen.
A$AP, yeah. They will go to jail to get their stuff back.
Ni får röra på er, de ska försöka komma ut. Kom igen nu.
Snälla, flytta längre upp. Jag måste sköta mot jag får rapportera.
Eller Annika, en sak.
If we leave, can we come back? No? Ingenting. Han önskar dem lycka och välgång. Han vill bara ha en rättvis rättegång. Att han tas på allvar och att... Absolut.
Just repeat in English what you think of the day's events. Can you just summarise what's happened and what you think of right now?
Well,
I don't know when he's going to be let out.
My client, he's happy about the court case and what has happened, and he doesn't have any concern about this decision that the court made about ASAP Rocky and the others, not that they are free to leave custody now. That's not the issue for my client. For him, it's about that he gets a fair treatment in the court proceeding.
Du sa tidigare att din klient inte önskar någonting ont till de här 3 åtalade.
Absolut,
att
absolut.
Det viktigaste för honom att rättvisa skipas i det här fallet. Kan du utveckla det lite mer? Vad menar han?
Ja, det är så han känner. Va? Och naturligtvis, han är orolig för sin egen del, för framtiden och sånt där. Han vill framföra det till dem så att de känner det och förstår det. Det är verkligen så han känner. Han på samma sätt som de tycker att det är olyckligt. Det är ungefär så han känner.
Hur mår din klient?
Tillståndet varierar, va? Men jag kan säga att han känner sig lättad över att rättegången är över. Det har varit en påfrestning för honom och han har då pressats ganska hårt delvis. Men han har klarat sig bra, han har varit fokuserad och han tycker att han har fått berätta sin berättelse. Va?
Vad tror du att det tyder på att de nu har släppt?
Jag vill inte spekulera om det. Som sagt, det är mer åklagarens och försvararnas ord. Jag är målsägaren beträde och det är inte det vi fokuserar på riktigt.
Magnus, vad tyckte din klient om att de åtalade nu släpps?
Jag har ärligt talat inte fått hans kommentar därför att han fick gå lite tidigare. Så när jag får chansen så ska jag tala med honom.
Och vad tycker du om detta?
Ja, för egen del så, som jag har sagt tidigare, va, så det är mer åklagaren och försvararna som får reagera på det här med frågan om häktning. Va? Som jag har sagt, min klient han har absolut ingenting emot de här herrarna utan han önskar dem lycka till i livet. Va? Men det
They're built to go wherever they want. But now probably they will wait and see the decision first. But legally they're free to go.
Okay, but you think they're going to stay here in the country?
We don't know, but we thought we were going to have the decision right away, but it took a little extra time. So I haven't talked to my clients. I don't know how they are talking and thinking, but legally, yeah, they're free to go. Okay. But if they have to, they will come back and do whatever they have to. But we hope that they will be freed, of course. So.
Can you just repeat again in English for us, perhaps your thoughts about what's happened today and how's your client doing?
Yeah, all the 3 days went exactly as planned. All the 3 days went exactly as we planned, and everything from the outcome to the witnesses, closing arguments, everything, and led to just what we wanted. My client being released, and all the clients being released. So that was very nice. We liked it. Perfect.
Tack.
Så vad vi iväg.
Hej igen! Vi möts här. Jag ställer mig på andra sidan. Hörrni, nu gör vi så här. Vi har lite begränsad tid. Men vi sätter igång nu. Vi börjar på svenska som vanligt. Förlåt. Och sen engelska. Så att första frågan. Vi hörde inte frågan.
Beslutet meddelades.
audio.
Hur tolkar du att han blir släppt?
Jag tycker man ska vara lite försiktig. Jag tycker att det här sättet att åklagaren i och för sig har påstått att det finns en gärning som har ett högt straffvärde och han pratade om åtminstone 6 månaders fängelse och att de skulle kvarstå i häkte. Utifrån det perspektivet så är det såklart en framgång att de är ute. Men nu betyder inte det att de nödvändigtvis blir helt friade, utan vi har lite nervös väntan i 2 veckor till som återstår.
Hur känns det?
Det känns bra.
Hur känns det för honom?
Det känns, han är jättelättad, han är verkligen lycklig och vi satt i 1 timme och väntade och det är få saker som är värre än väntan, men det var värt.
Kommer de få lämna landet?
Absolut. Om de skulle vilja det, ja.
Vet du om han kommer lämna landet?
Jag vet vad han har för avsikter, men jag kommer inte dela med mig av dem.
Hur snart är de fria att gå från häktet?
Det är en praktisk fråga som häktet får hantera. Alltså, de ska få sina saker och bli utskrivna och lite annat.
Kommer han få vilja möta pressen idag?
Det vet jag inte. Nu får ni fråga hans.
Vadå?
Får man fråga publicisterna om man ska träffa pressen idag?
Vill du möta pressen? Får en kjapp kommentar idag? Nej, tyvärr inte. Han kommer inte göra det.
Hur gick dagen?
Jo, men det har ju gått bra tycker jag, och återigen, vi har ju lyckats leverera det vi har förutsatt oss i första skedet. Jag menar, vi har haft 2 delmål. 1 är att de ska bli försatta på fri fot idag. Det har vi levererat. Och 2 är att jag tycker att vi har fått fram en hel del. Sen är det lite klurigheter juridiskt, men det får vi se hur det går med det.
Får jag få en teknisk detalj? Avsade han sig rätt till ersättning för att han har suttit häktad idag, eller var det något annat han sa nej till?
Nej, idag framfördes det att vi inte har några rättegångsanspråk.
Släpptes han idag med sitt pass då, eller? Så att han kan lämna landet utan problem? Det är inte så...
Ja, han är en fri person och kan röra sig fritt precis som alla andra.
Vad tror du att det innebär för domen?
Att de åtminstone inte kommer fällas till ansvar för att de har brukat någon form av flaska.
Var det någonting under den här rättegången idag som du tror fick det att svänga över till er fördel?
Jag tror, alltså så här, jag är inte ett dugg förvånad att vi har haft den här utvecklingen. Jag har, ska vi säga, sen vi har fått materialet och jobbat med det så har jag ju sett att de här luckorna finns. Sen kan man ju aldrig ta ut någonting i förskott. Så jag tycker att alltså, så tillvida har allting gått planenligt. Men sen så har det varit vissa inslag och berättelser som är beklagliga. Så kan jag säga.
Förväntar du dig att åklagaren kommer överklaga detta?
Det vet jag inte, det är helt taget på hans bord. Och låt oss se var vi kommer hamna någonstans. Jag menar om tingsrätten och jag menar åklagaren argumenterade ju väldigt väl och det framgick ju också av hans resonemang att han sa att om flaskan inte finns med då kommer vi hamna en helt annan dager och skulle man då hamna i att tingsrätten anser att någonting har gjort som är övervåld men att det inte flaska, då tror inte jag i och för sig att han kommer överklaga, men det är i slutändan en fråga för honom.
Måste han vara på plats den 14 och alla andra tider och kommer de att vara det?
Nej, utan tyvärr är det så pass tråkigt att vi kommer få det på mail så att det är noll ceremoni kring det. Vilket kanske kan vara bra om man får tråkigt besked också i och för sig.
Om det blir så att de blir dömda men då straffet blir att det redan är tjänat med tiden han har suttit eller att de får villkorlig dom, tror du att ni kommer överklaga en sådan dom?
Det tror jag är alldeles för tidigt att tala om. Vi har ju återigen bara sagt hej då till varandra. Vi har inte fått en dom och på samma sätt som gäller för åklagaren, vi måste se till hur tingsrätten har formulerat sig. Vi kanske känner att den analysen som tingsrätten har gjort är, ska vi säga, att den är svår att angripa. Vi får se.
Hur ska du fira den här delsegern?
Tänkte gå hem och sova första gången på 14 dagar.
Du sa att det hade framkommit beklagliga saker. Vad menar du då?
Nej, jag tycker att det räcker med att jag säger så. Well, we're satisfied. We had 2 goals. One goal was that my client was going to be a free man today, and that have we achieved. And then we're hoping for an acquittal in 14 days, but we have to wait and see.
Will your client remain in Sweden, or?
That's not for me to answer for.
What are the biggest risks you are preparing for the coming judgment?
Well, I mean, we need to be open. We have 2 questions that are, fragile. The first question is, did our clients act in self-defense? Will the court say that it was such a moment without any independent witness of that situation? Because today we have only witnesses saying that they can't exclude that something happened towards the bodyguard, but they can confirm it either. In my opinion, that should be enough, but I need to be humble that the court could have another opinion. And the second thing is whether they, in any case, use too much force. And also if the court will think that what my client has done should be collectively done with them.
What happens if there's new evidence? Is that going to affect in any way?
No, now the court is doing a vote, and that's only based on what have proceeded in the courtroom.
Ja, Emily, om du hör mig. Det kan gå till mig.
Matilda, det var livvakten som
Oskar, ja. Ja, det kan gå till mig. Jag kan berätta vad som hände. Det är till när ni är hos mig. Det är så. Jag måste sketcha det på den. Det är ett otroligt tryck här vid dörren. Man får skjuta sin plats här, men bara tror. Det som vi hörde där borta där det jublades, det var livvakten som hoppade in i en bil och åkte iväg. Så att det var det vi hörde då. Huvudpersonen då som väntar på Rakim Meyers och även de andra 2 åtalade som nu alltså sätts på fri fot men inväntar dom angående domen ska komma den 14 april. Men så länge så fortsätts de. Man säger att det kommer inte funka om alla backar trycker på. Så att det är bättre om alla backar ska hålla sin plats. Här. Och ja, förutom media här då så är liksom det så utbryter jubel.
Vi måste jobba här, kom igen. Han kommer att få bild, då får han då.
Ja, får be några gå några fram.
No, you need to leave. You need to leave. Step back, please. We need to work. We are working. We are working. I understand. I understand.
Ja, han släpps upp på den här sidan. Ja, det är helt tungt. Alla hans managers står vid dörren. Bilarna står här och väntar för allt. Okej, ja, jag vill bara tipsa dig. Hej.
So it's been great to be here in Sweden. I've appreciated the tremendous courtesy I've been accorded here by government officials, the courthouse security and the staff here at the courthouse have been fantastic, and I'm grateful for their the very courteous manner in which they've treated me and my colleagues here. So tonight was a great night for Rocky and David and Vladimir. A wonderful night for their families who are reunited now with their kids, with their sons, and I think it's actually a very good night for the United States of America and for the Kingdom of Sweden. So it's tonight's a good night. Thank you all very much for being here.
Well, you looked it up.
Can you get me saying something? Is it the moment in
Ja, det är förflyttade alla sig från dörren här till häktet och alla rör sig hit också. Så vi går hit.
Någon annan hämtade deras
Varför stoppar vi? Vi stoppar bil! Vi stoppar!
I'd like to give a shout out to my niggas with the game plan. A shout out to my niggas with the safe plan. Hey, even rain checker, we can make plays.
We're going the other direction.
You can record a little something.
Don't ask me, bro. I got this. Får du bra sikt?
Ja. Can we switch?
Huh? Oh.
Switch maybe?
I'd rather not.
Okay, good.
But you can stand up.
No, it's not secure. I have so much weight, you know, I don't want to die here. So, but this is okay. It's an option.
You want me to hold the phone higher?
If you could, yeah, just hold it.
Jacqueline. Jacqueline.
And I can film your style, take it from
Aha, så du har hittat ett bra plats.
You can hold on to me, I'm pretty secure.
Yeah, no, I'm good here. If you hold my...
Yeah, well, I know you did. Once you get that. Canadian, who did they buy it from? Brazil? Brazil's got to be doing a great job between their soybeans and the sheep. I mean, they got to be like, yeah, Yeah, yeah. Is that, what's happening on the swine fever thing now? They get
And that's.
So what are they gonna do? Are they gonna start, are they importing a lot of, and are they gonna breed stuff? They have to eat the So that's come, that demand's coming. So what I think, 40%. So the hog prices should improve. It started. Will that help then with the feed too, like soybean meal and some of those things that they What about backfilling around the skull? Well, big concern. Well, it's illegal. We started and he ran it that way for 3 years. The shield is very Texas. It's pretty. starting to see some corn move, we're starting to see some grains move, beans, we're just kind of hitting unless there's some other markets.
Yes, but it's for a stare. I didn't want.
I mean, the market will, you know, the market setting the signal, you know, because of human impact. Which we need to. You gotta give people time to adjust. They can't change that fast. Oh, no, it all works. Yeah. It's coming up for sunset. This month? Yeah. End of this month? Are they slowing that down? Yeah, that's a little. I mean, they talk a good game, but I never really buy it. It's some satellite that's come out that's probably the question. That's what I'm saying. I'm not as big. So we don't expand our grassland, just be in that part.
But we did have a lot, we did see a lot of it. Because I always thought you could station rainforest. In that part of it, because you're not in a rainforest area, you're not. That's just right. Yeah, that's
drier season, they plant there's safrina. But it's a dry land. Yeah, that's. Good. I've been waiting here someday where they're having. Where they have the.
You don't go anywhere fast till they're hot.
You never get the sense that the space that's ever going to be really appreciated. I mean, it's just what Indians do. All scratch. I was over in France for the 75th. I mean, those farms are like big gardens, you know. I mean, they got the stone wall around the green crop and stuff. I mean, it's about an acre. I mean, you wouldn't even need a John Deere boomer to farm that. Yeah, so amazing. You landing do a header off the door. Oh, sure. Absolutely. Where else would you be? He was practicing, ready to write up San Juan. Yeah. He raised so he raised Oh, I think, yeah, those are bucks. I'd say that's San Juan. What's that? Yeah. It's out in Theodore Roosevelt National Park. No, he's got a big place. Restaurant. Music. Yeah.
Congratulations, you guys, with a beautiful pass. Congratulations, fellas. I want one of those hats. I want one of those hats.
He's earned it.
Right here. Yeah, and I have I wish we could wear them in Washington. I don't think I could get away with it here, right? Well, thank you very much, everybody. We appreciate it. A wonderful day and a wonderful deal for a lot of people. Today, we're signing a breakthrough agreement that will make it easier to export American beef into the European Union. We've been under negotiation for quite a while, and our beef farmers, we didn't think were being treated fair, but the European Union stepped up, and we appreciate it, and we have great representatives here with us today. This is a tremendous victory for American farmers, ranchers, and of course, European consumers, because American beef is considered the best in the world. We're delighted to be joined today by Ambassador Robert Lighthizer, Deputy Secretary of Agriculture, Sensky, the European Union's ambassador to the United States, Stavros Lambrinidis, and representative of the Presidency of the Council of the EU, Yanni Rapanana. I also want to thank Senator John Hoeven, my friend, for being here. Where's John? John? Good job, John. Along with the president of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, Jennifer Houston. Thank you, Jennifer. And the president and CEO of the United States Meat Export Federation, Dan Hallstrom. Thank you, Dan, very much. Congratulations. The agreement we signed today will lower trade barriers in Europe and expand access for American farmers and ranchers. In year one, duty-free American beef exports to the EU will increase by 46%. Over 7 years, they will increase by another 90%. In total, the duty-free exports will rise from $150 million to $420 million, an increase of over 180%. My administration is standing up for our farmers and ranchers like never before. We're protecting our farmers. We're doing it in many ways, including with China. You may have read a little bit about China lately. Agricultural products and exports have increased by more than $10 billion, and beef exports have increased by more than 31%. In another major win, we fully opened the Japanese market to U.S. beef. We also opened markets in Tunisia, Morocco, and Australia. I think you're pretty happy about all that, right? You've never seen anything like that happen before, have you? Not with your other presidents, you haven't. And we're reducing burdensome regulations that unfairly impact agricultural producers. When our farmers became victims of unjustified retaliatory tariffs from China and other countries, we provided $28 billion over a 2-year period in relief. They were targeted, and we took care of our farmers and ranchers. And I signed a historic farm bill which provides our farmers with certainty and the kind of certainty that they need while supporting increased agricultural exports. The agreement that we are about to sign keeps one more promise to the great patriots of American agriculture. These are indeed patriots. They're always targeted first by other countries that try and take advantage of the United States. They're the first to be targeted, but we take that target off their back. Opening markets for our farmers is about more than just an industry. It's about a way of life. Generations of hard work, passion, and dedication have gone into making America the largest producer of high-quality beef anywhere in the world by far. We're proud of our farmers and ranchers. We love our farmers and ranchers. And with this announcement, we take one more step in giving them the level playing field that they've really been looking forward to this for many, many years. You folks know that. They want a level playing field. That's all they want, and nobody can beat them. So I want to thank you all for being here. And now I'd like to invite a very great gentleman, a friend of mine, and somebody that's done a fantastic job for our country, Ambassador Lighthizer, to say a few words, and we'll follow that up with some of the very high officials from the European Union. Thank you very much. Bob? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, for being here today and for your leadership in making trade policy work better for all Americans, but particularly our farmers and ranchers. I'm pleased to be joined today here by Mr. Yanni Rapana, the Deputy Chief of Mission of the Embassy of Finland, the EU member state that currently holds the presidency of the Council of the European Union, and Ambassador Stavros Lambrinidis, the ambassador from the EU. This agreement will nearly triple the duty-free access of American ranchers to high-quality beef in Europe. Initial estimates indicate that U.S. beef will grow by over $270 million a year once the agreement is fully implemented. With this new exclusive country-specific quota, American ranchers have a guaranteed market share in Europe. We look forward to the European Union approving this agreement expeditiously.
Good morning, Mr. President, Ambassador Lighthizer, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to be one of the signatories of this EU-US hormone-free beef agreement. Thanks to this new arrangement, a very substantial amount of existing quota will be ring-fenced for the USA. This provides a solution to our long-standing dispute in the WTO. Let me underline that the negotiations for this agreement were conducted in a good spirit, and it's a great example of how the multilateral trading system can work for settling trade disputes. With this agreement, the EU reaffirms its commitment to a positive transatlantic trade agenda and a new phase in the EU-US relationship. The agreement will be now sent to the European Parliament, and we hope to obtain the consent as soon as possible. I would also like to highlight that strengthening the EU trade relations with the US is a priority of the Finnish presidency. Finally, I wish to thank all the negotiators on both sides for their efforts. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please.
Mr. President, Ambassador Lighthizer, dear friends from the American farming community, ladies and gentlemen, today is about delivering real, positive, tangible results in the transatlantic trade relationship, the strongest, biggest relationship in the world. Our companies, our farmers make more money investing, trading with each other than we do with anyone else in the world. But Mr. President, last year in the Rose Garden with President Juncker, you said you wanted more. You wanted to strengthen this relationship for the benefit of all Americans and all Europeans. And in this spirit, we're here today signing this agreement. Indeed, it can more than double the hormone-free beef exports of US farmers to the EU. This is a great day for American farmers. It's a great day for European consumers. And of course, we're working on so many other areas of progress. In soybeans, exports to the European Union have seen a massive increase over the past year. LNG exports have seen a significant boost as well in shipments, fortifying security of supply and diversity. And we're working on many other things, fortifying the WTO, negotiating on regulatory matters, including standards. Mr. President, I mentioned standards because for us it's a highlight of the fact that trade is not just about money. It is also about values. It's about making sure that high standards are used and upheld to deal with unfair competition. And as we are dealing with fair competition here today, there are countries around the world that are not simply exporting cheap subsidized products. They're also trying to export cheap labor standards, weak governance, poor environmental standards. And the agreement that we signed today shows that as partners we can solve problems. And as partners together in the spirit of this partnership, we can also try to shape a world that is based on strong, open values and strong, open rules. Thank you very much. It's a great honor for the European Union to be here, Mr.
Thank you very much.
Oh, may I say, I asked for a hat.
I like those hats.
And they told me I don't deserve it.
We'll get you
They
one.
say I have not earned it yet, they say.
Thank you very much. John, please.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. This is what our ranchers and our farmers, our producers across this great country are after. These are the kind of agreements that really make a difference. And that's what this is about. This is about access to markets. We produce the highest quality beef anywhere in the world. They have great hats, but they have great cattle. They do a great job. Our ranchers across this country are absolutely the best in the world. So when we get access to markets, then they can really go to town and outcompete really anybody anywhere. So whether it's the ranchers or farmers, whether it's livestock, whether it's crops, this is the kind of agreement we need. Again, I want to express appreciation to the President and to his whole team, to Ag Secretary Sonny Perdue, certainly to USTR Lighthizer, to Ambassador Dowd, to the whole team. They're working very hard on behalf of agriculture. You know about the assistance they're providing, but that assistance is because our farmers and our ranchers have been targeted by China and other countries. So the administration and USDA is standing up for our farmers while they're negotiating these kinds of agreements. And I'm anxious to see what they can do with Japan. And we've got to get the USMCA through the Congress. We need the House to bring it up. The Senate is ready to go. We're ready to pass it with a big bipartisan vote. But each of these steps are critically important for our farmers. And again, on behalf of all of us in the Senate that work in agriculture, this is what we want. These kind of agreements, tripling what we can put into the beef that we can export to Europe under this agreement between the United States and Europe. So again, congratulations, and on behalf of agriculture, thank you.
Great job. Thank you very much.
Yes, this is a great day for, thank you, for the America's cattlemen and cattlewomen, and thank you, Mr. President, to you and all of your trade team for your diligence, because for years it's been difficult for us to get access to the European Union because of some non-tariff and restricted tariff trade practices, and we want them to be able to enjoy the high-quality beef that our American farmers and ranchers produce everywhere that's enjoyed by the rest of the world, and we are so excited that our European families, and thank you to all that, are going to be able to enjoy that high-quality beef. Thanks again, Mr. President, for your support of America's farmers and ranchers and all to your trade team. And to you all, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Please.
Well, that was unexpected, but thank you, Mr. President. My name's Kevin Kester. I'm a Media Palace president for National Cattlemen's Beef Association, and I'm a rancher from California. I'll just briefly say that I'm a fifth generation. I have a seventh generation family on the ranch, and we will directly benefit from this new agreement with the European Union, and so we're very thankful for that. So thank you for the EU, and thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Very good, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm Dan Hallstrom, President and CEO of the U.S. Meat Export Federation. And on behalf of all of our members in agriculture throughout the United States and our beef producers especially, we'd like to say thank you. This is an honor and a great day for us with our European Union friends for expanded access, and we really do appreciate everything that the President and the administration is doing on behalf of the farmers of America. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Steve, please.
Thank you. Steve Sensky, Deputy Secretary of Agriculture, and I again want to express my appreciation and our appreciation on behalf of all of U.S. farmers and ranchers for the leadership of you, Mr. President, for making it a priority to stand up and fight for market access for U.S. producers. This is a great day to celebrate, and we look forward to more wins like this. So thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you. Great job, Steve. Thank you very much. Please. Congratulations. Thank you. And we're working on a deal where the European Union will agree to pay a 25% tariff on all Mercedes-Benzes, BMWs coming into our nation, so we appreciate that. I'm only kidding. They started to get a little bit worried. They started. Thank you. Congratulations. Best beef in the world. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Mr. President, you ask Ratcliffe to withdraw his name, Mr. President? Mr. President, did you ask Ratcliffe to withdraw his name?
Mr. President, how are you prepared for China to retaliate?
All right, thank you.
This is the primary audio circuit for the